back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal, and let's talk about your financial portfolio because there are a plethora of funds available in the market to invest your hard-earned money. But how do you assess which is the right fund for your portfolio? What are the criteria that one should look at to help you navigate through this maze? We have on board Aditya Shah, Chief Investment Officer, GST Investments. Also, do not forget to send us your portfolio queries on our WhatsApp number, which is 865-797-4571. You can also email us your queries on themoneyshow@etnow.tv. So Aditya, let's get you the first question, which is from Roop Jyoti Das from Guwahati. And Roop Jyoti says that he wants to invest 5,000 per month for short term or maybe a year or so. And then he says that he wants to withdraw the money on the 13th month, like after investing for a year, for 12 months. The withdrawal will be in the 13th month. He wants to understand what is the best option for him to get maximum return for a period of 1 year.
Ma'am, since the time horizon is just 1 year, there's no point discussing about equity products. That product is the one that you should really concentrate on. I will suggest a fixed deposit if it suits him. If he's in the highest stack bracket, then I will suggest to him that go to a liquid fund. A liquid fund would be an HDFC liquid fund or an ICICI liquid fund. The time horizon is short, and within such time horizons, we generally don't invest investors to invest in any other asset class other than debt. So, fixed deposit or HDFC liquid fund or an ICICI liquid fund will do it double investment.
All right, we don't have him on the phone line, otherwise we could have taken more questions. But then let's move on. Do we have Aditya on phone line, our next caller? Or do we have Mr. Ramakrishna? Okay, we have Mr. Ramakrishna with us. Hi, good evening, sir. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, tell me.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for sending us your query. I think you have invested in Tata Digital Fund. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've invested 5 lakh, and when did you do that?
Just around, I can say around 1 year back.
Just 1 year back. And how long do you plan to stay invested?
That is not the question. The question is what will be the benefit we are going to get?
5
What will be the
years.
benefit because the market is not showing.
Exactly, but I also want to know what is
Yeah.
the time frame or time horizon of your investment in this particular fund. You plan to hold it for how many years?
1.5 year. 1.5 year. I'm thinking 1.5 year.
1.5 years. Okay, Aditya.
Another 6 months. Another 6 months I can hold.
Other 6 months you can hold. Okay.
Yeah.
Aditya, thank you so much, sir. We'll just ask Aditya what's the best solution for you. Tata Digital India Fund, and he just wants to hold it for more 6 months. He currently doesn't look happy with the fund performance. So, first of all, what kind of a fund is this, and what is the time horizon one should be actually taking in when buying this kind of a fund?
Ma'am, I generally don't invest clients to invest in sectoral funds because sectoral funds carry a huge sector risk, and when the sector is in a downturn, investor faces huge drawdown in their NAVs. This fund is a technology fund which invests in the IT sector of the country, and we have seen all IT stocks get correct by at least 30 to 50% as US undergoes a severe recession during the later half of this year. So, in my opinion, this fund is undergoing a down cycle. There's no point exiting now since you've taken a lot of loss. I will suggest to you that hold on to this fund at least with a time horizon of at least 3 years. Then you can make some bit of money on this. But generally, a lesson to be learned here is don't invest in sectoral funds. They undergo severe drawdowns during a down cycle, and that's the exact thing that is happening in this fund as well. So stay invested if you are a long-term investor. Short term, it will be very, very difficult for you to make money in this fund as US undergo the recession and IT companies face a lot of challenges.
Do you suggest that he come out of this fund now itself rather than, giving in more 6 months?
If the time horizon is only 6 months, then I suggest that he can look at redeeming this fund because 6 months also look very, very difficult given the state and the scenario of the US economy and what is happening. See, for the IT companies, banks, US banks are a very big customers. And what is really happening with the US banks is a cause of concern for all of the IT. So he can exit out if he has 6 months of time horizon. But I will suggest that elongate the time horizon for at least 2 to 3 years. Then you can make a lot.
All right, so that's a solution for you, Mr. Ramakrishna. If you plan to hold long, then maybe you can stay put in this fund. We move on. We have Mr. Tuhin Sarkar from Kolkata. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
All fine, thank you.
All right, so the detail I have with me is you have invested in ICICI PSU Fund, Quant Active Fund, Quant Infrastructure Fund, Axis Blue Chip. You want to hold on to these funds for how long?
I'm ready to hold it for next 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Okay. Any specific amount in terms of corpus that you want to accumulate through this portfolio?
All these funds, 4 funds, can it give me around, say, around 10 to 15 lakhs?
And how much are you investing currently per month?
Yeah, in ICICI PSU, I'm doing 3,000, Blue Chip 5,000, even infrastructure 5,000 each.
Okay. And you want 10 to 15 lakhs in 3 years' time?
Yeah.
All right. Aditya?
Because I have a function in my house. For that, I require that money, say, next 3 years.
Aditya?
Okay, ma'am. So I have repeated multiple times, do not invest in a sectoral fund. Also, do not invest in a PSU fund. And again, that carries a systemic risk of the PSU funds. So, in my opinion, those are 2 funds that you should not be investing in. Again, the Axis Blue Chip Fund, on the large cap funds, you needs to invest in a passive fund because 90% of the large cap funds do underperform the benchmark. So, a couple of changes that he can introduce in his portfolios. He can introduce a flexi cap fund, which could be a Parag Parag flexi cap fund or a DSP flexi cap fund. He can also introduce a UTI Nifty 50 index fund, and those are the couple of changes that he can make inside his portfolio. If he consistently SIPs these 3-4 funds, he should not have any problem as such.
All right, that will be the solution for you, Mr. Tuhin Sarkar. Thank you so much for sending us your query. And with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining in today, Aditya, and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio.